welcome to the second video of this series on crash course on Python for geospatial data scientists. As I promised, we are going to start from the very basics, and of course to get it started we need to have our Python environment set up. This can be a little bit confusing, at least it used to be confusing for me, because if you're really new to this, you probably start by googling Python and then you're not sure what version to go with, what to install, and things can get a little bit confusing. So I will, in this short video, I try to keep it short and quick. I will try to break this down so you know how to set up your environment on whatever computer that you're using. Of course, I'm using a Windows machine, and it's easiest to follow what I'm doing on Windows, but the idea is the same, so you can do it on whatever operating system you are using. So I will show you how to install Python and explain why we are actually using Conda instead of downloading just from the python.org, which is the official website. We are learning Python for data analysis and later GIS, for example, and it is much easier for us to just use Conda. Conda takes care of managing your Python versions and packages and keeps things nice and tidy in separate environments, so one project doesn't mess up another. Now there are two main flavors of Conda. We have Anaconda and then Mini Conda. As you can guess from the name, Anaconda is the big one. It comes with hundreds of pre-installed libraries like Pandas, NumPy, and Jupyter. Super handy, but it's also huge. It's several gigabytes. Then we have the lighter version, which I personally prefer, and that's Miniconda. It's lightweight. It installs just the basics, the Conda itself and Python, and then as you create your environment, you can just install whatever packages you may need for your work. So for most of us, Miniconda is totally enough. It installs quickly, takes almost no space, and gives you full control over what you actually need in your setup. I will put the links in the description so you don't have to start googling and end up in random places, but we are just going to install Miniconda and from the official website. So I will now pull up my browser to show you how you can do this. I actually have it already installed, so I don't want to mess up with my own installation, but it's super easy. You just go to anaconda.com. In the download section up there, they ask you to not really log in, but link your account, so you can do it with Google or GitHub, but it's free and you don't really need an account to use this. As you can see, there are two distributions here. The one on the left is the full distribution, the larger file, and it's available for Windows, Linux, and Mac. So same thing applies to you regardless of what operating system you're using. But we'll continue with Miniconda installer. You just click the download button, you get the executable file, you install it like any other software, and then we are good to go. And once you're actually done with your installation, you can just find Miniconda prompt. So it's called Anaconda prompt, and in this case it's Miniconda 3. I'm going to open that. So here you can just create new environments. Yeah, we are going to, so don't worry, I know some of you might be a bit scared of this kind of window, but this is just for setting things up. So we create a Conda environment and install packages and so on. But otherwise we will continue working in a more interactive, more visual environment. Yeah, so let's see how we can actually work with Python. As I said, one of the greatest things about Conda distribution is that you can work with environments, and environments help you keep things clean. So how do we create an environment? Imagine you're starting a new project, and this is how you would start. So you will start Conda create, let me make this a little bit bigger. So conda, create, and then you create a new environment. I'm going to name it MapSyntax. Of course, you can name it whatever you want. If you want to specify a specific version of Python, this is how you would do that. But I will skip that, so go with the latest version available through conda. So this should install a new environment for me. It might take a few seconds, not so much because we are not installing packages yet. So it asks you to confirm whether you want to install, create the environment. I put Y, short for yes, enter, and it's created. So once it's created, you should remember that you actually need to activate it so that you are inside that environment for your work. So activating it is quite simple. You just write conda activate, and you provide the name of your environment. So in this case, it's MapSyntax. So once you do it, you are inside your environment. If you're unsure, you can also get a list of the environments that are available to you by writing conda env list. So I'm not going to run this, but if you can try it yourself, and you will see a list of the environments that are available to you. Of course, if you want to deactivate, you can also do that. So for example, if you want to switch to another library environment, so you can write conda deactivate, and then you will get out of the library. And of course, if you want to activate it again, you do just write conda activate, the name of the environment. And in case you need to remove something, because over time you will end up with many environments, and you may want to clean up from time to time, so you can just write conda remove, and then here you would put the name of your environment and ask to delete everything that is there. I'm not going to run this because I will need this for the next step. I'm going to install some packages that we need. Yeah, but you can delete it if you want. So I'm going to activate my, remember I just deactivated, so I'm going to activate my environment again, which was called MapSyntax. Okay, I forgot to write conda activate actually. So conda activate MapSyntax, and now I'm inside the environment. Now you can do things. So you can install whatever package you need. So I will start by installing the environment that we will be using for our work. So it's JupyterLab. That's where we will be writing our code. So that is handy, and we are going to work with this a lot, so you will see how it works, but it is nice. And then you don't need any IDE for, you don't need a separate software for interactively writing your code and running it. So I'm going to install it. So you can install packages, and this is the same for any package that you may need. So you can of course do so by using the conda distribution itself. So you can just write conda install -c conda forge, and here I provide the name of the package that I want to install. In this case, it's JupyterLab. Later we will do the same thing to install pandas or geopandas or other libraries that we might need. So I'm just writing conda install and name of the package. Okay. Yeah. So it takes a moment, it's just installing things. Conda works very nicely for installing. It takes care of the dependencies very nicely. So I recommend you to go with Conda for installation, but I will show you now when this is done that you can actually install packages also using pip channel. So I will shortly show you how that one works. Okay, so my installation is finally done. It took quite a bit of time because JupyterLab is a bit larger package, so it takes time. If it's a light package, it goes usually fast. But anyway, it's ready. It has installed a lot of different dependencies. So now we use the Conda to do the installation. As I mentioned, you can also install packages through pip channel. So before that, you can just go with pip install and then add the name of the library that you actually want to install, like this. So in our case, we already have the library installed, so it's just telling me that all the requirements are already satisfied and nothing is actually happening. But you could have also installed the library this way. But now JupyterLab is installed, and this is the environment we are going to use for our work. So every time we start our work, we open Miniconda. It's already open here, and then what I'm going to do is to activate the right environment. It is already activated, and then I'm going to just run JupyterLab. So this is what we will be doing every time we start our job. So this opens a new window in your browser. It will launch JupyterLab, which is running on your local host. And here you can see your files. Of course, we could have navigated to another directory, and we will do that later on when we need it. But this is the JupyterLab environment, and we are going to have a separate video walking through some of the basics of working with JupyterLab. But that's it for this video. Now you have Python installed and you have JupyterLab installed, and we have everything needed for starting to write our codes in Python. See you in the next video.